My gosh, guys, look at this. Ah! Oh my gosh. It looks so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Ah, hello. What is up, guys? Today I'll be filming a commentary video. Today we're going to be talking about the Starbucks Bear cup that everyone is going crazy for. So make sure you like, comment on this video, make sure you check out my socials, everything down below. Check out my shorts, check out my podcast, Pretty Woman Mind, on Spotify, and it's available on YouTube. Give it a listen, it helps me out a lot, and it's for any post vacations. So the thing is, I'm probably gonna have to make this short because the freaking sun is going down as we speak, and I kind of waited till the last minute to film this. I was thinking about it, but I was also doing a little bit of homework, studying a little bit, so that's like another reason why I wasn't really putting it off. The goal was to film today, but I keep forgetting that the sun goes down really fast. Like, it's 4:30 right now and the sun is going down, so I'm probably gonna have to go with artificial lighting if I do shoot. It hits 5 and I'm still filming, I'm gonna hit, you know what I mean. Starbucks recently dropped this new item and it had people waiting in line, camping out in front till like, I think they were like going there at like 2 in the morning, and I think Starbucks opens at like 4:30 or 5 a.m. depending on probably the location. They also had dropped a Hello Kitty line, cups, and something else, but I don't feel like people were going as crazy for the Hello Kitty versus the Starbucks Bear cup.
We're going bonkers for these adorable teddy bear glass cups at Starbucks. The 20-ounce holiday bottles called Barista Cold Cups debuted yesterday and immediately sold out. But most customers are leaving empty-handed. This is the much sought-after Barista Cold Cup. It's a bear-shaped glass mug with a green beanie and a Starbucks logo on its belly. It sells for $29.95, but if you're looking for one, be prepared to spend a lot more.
It's selling out really fast because people were probably not expecting that it was going to sell out fast, so they were only putting out like, I think, 6 at a time in certain places. So it did cause a lot of people to start fighting over it.
So why do I have to give away my cup once I handed you the one that the worker? Hold on, no, how do not break it?
She put my cup up and I gave you mine. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, you do?
You're watching people in New Jersey elbowing each other trying to get their hands on Starbucks' newest holiday product. This is their new 20-ounce glass Barista Cup. It went on sale on Thursday and quickly started selling out. At some locations, people waited in long lines even before the store opened just to try to snag one. And the craze quickly turned into an online reseller's dream. Within hours, the cup, which initially was selling for $29.95, started appearing on eBay for upwards of $500. Upset customers took to social media to complain about the lack of supply. Starbucks said in a statement to People magazine that they're sorry for the disappointment, but demand exceeded their expectations. Starbucks also said that they're going to be launching new holiday merch soon, but until then, it's going to be the OG coffee cup.
Because me personally, I thought they were going to be like at least putting out like not 6, but maybe 10, maybe 15 of them, so it doesn't start a brawl. But either way, it's probably going to start a brawl because people are greedy. It's quite literally frustrating because with this whole rise of consumerism, it has gotten worse. And if you didn't know, this cup is $30 and there's so many dupes out there that you can literally get that looks very similar, or if not slightly different, but it still does the same thing. It's so weird. But Starbucks even like had a little apology email to the customers for apologizing for it selling out really quickly, but I don't think they understood the gravity of how bad consumerism is. Even though, like, you know, America's falling apart and everyone is living paycheck to paycheck, I find it so odd that people find time to buy things that they can't afford. I personally feel like obsessing over a $30 cup is probably the most weirdest thing and the most chronically online thing you could do. And also, I don't know, I don't understand. It's like the Stanley Cup, Trader Joe's tote bag all over again. That's what it feels like. because the fights, the fact that people were going location to location just to find this said cup is crazy. I guess some influencers were talking about it, kind of hinting that they're going to be dropping it soon, dropping the Starbucks cup soon, from what I heard, but I didn't know about it until it dropped, which a lot of influencers do. I don't know if you've noticed that. A little like, okay, the crumble cookie thing, I think it's either ice cream, I don't know what it is, but it just looks like a bunch of slob. But a bunch of influencers got a hold of it, and they had like little they lived near tester locations, so they were reviewing it for a video. So anyway, since then many people came out with their own dupes, and they were even reselling it for a higher price. Some people were really bugging with the price, I'm not gonna lie. They were even selling it for like $30,000. Some people were selling it for $300, $200, $500. It's honestly quite literally crazy that people are really thinking that someone's gonna sit here and pay $500 for a cup. I don't know why they think like, oh yeah, I'm gonna upsell it like really crazy high and some dumbo is gonna buy it. I think it's really odd, because personally me, I wouldn't do that. Even if I thought it was cute, I can always find a dupe. There's always dupes, because at the end of the day, like, this is a money hungry country, and people are gonna find a way to get money one way or another when it comes to like certain companies. So even Walmart even came out with their dupe as well. So I was like, it's probably cheaper. Let me look at it. Let me see. I think what also people are going crazy over is the fact that you're paying for a brand, and people like the fact that they had like the Starbucks logo in it, like on it, not in it, on it. So far I don't see it. So
who's lying here?
Deserve jail time, because why did I waste my time doing that? But anyways, yeah, so you're mostly paying for the brand, and that's why it's so overpriced. But personally, I think they dropped this just because they've been losing a lot of sales, because a lot of people were protesting and not buying Starbucks for like a year or two because of the whole Palestine thing situation. So a lot of people were like, okay, they are pro is not real, so we're not going to be buying from their company. And a lot of people stood on business, which a lot of people, especially Gen Z, have a hard time doing when it comes to boycotting things. But there was a lot of videos and real like statistics showing that their sales has dropped drastically since the boycotting started. And don't get me wrong, people are still going to that establishment. I stopped going to Starbucks a long time ago, before the whole boycott situation happened, just because it's overpriced, and also they are heavy-handed with the ice. And then another thing, their drinks suck, especially at my location. I don't know what the fuck is up with it, but there's been a few times where I've gone in there and it tasted like nothing. Like the drinks tasted like nothing, like milk. And I'm like, that's really, really odd, because you would think that it would taste like sugar, because Starbucks is nothing but sugar. Like their drinks are like 400, 500, 600 calories because it's mostly sugar. So I was thinking I'm gonna be tasting sugar, but no, I tasted just milk. I remember very vividly, and I think that was 2 years ago. And the location I was at, it was still fairly new, so there wasn't a lot of like customers there. So I was like, okay, maybe it just needs to have some germs and, you know, get used to this area, because it's just not giving what it's giving, you know. So, but personally, I'm just not a fan of Starbucks. I don't know if I ever was, to be honest with you. People will say, oh, I'm gonna boycott this, and then they like go support it still. And personally, I'm not gonna judge anyone that does it, because honestly, like, if you don't have a lot of options when it comes to even like grocery stores, because people were like saying you should boycott grocery stores because they were supporting Is Not Real. I'm not very familiar with that situation, okay? I'm not educated on it. I'm just going off of what I remember for the last year or so. And then people were like, oh, it's just not that serious, like you should still go. And if you live in a food desert, there's no point of boycotting, because if you don't have a lot of like options, like there's no point of boycotting, if I'm being honest. No one's gonna hold a gun to your head and tell you to boycott. It is a choice, okay? So also what kind of pissed me off about this situation was that there was a lot of people that were kind of like doing their own little spin on it, which is, it's very harmless, okay, but it's also kind of quite literally annoying. But a lot of people were dumping, like buying a bunch of honeys. They were buying a bunch of honey like jars, not packets, but like little honey bear containers. And then also they were getting honey, not honey, but animal cracker jars, and they were filling it up with coffee, and just to feel like they're still with the trend, which I found it really, really weird, you know. So that became a trend, and I think it's still a trend because I still see videos from time to time. I was always trying to figure out like what possesses someone to do something like this, and that opens the conversation of FOMO. I think it's because of the fear of missing out, and a lot of people since the vid have been trying to look for a sense of community. And since a lot of people don't really have a community, don't really have friends, don't have that, you know, someone to lean on, they started doing things like this, as in buying a bunch of things they don't need and will collect dust in their closets, and they just want to say, hey, I have it, you know what I mean? And you know for a fact that they're not going to be using these cups. I saw a bunch of AI pictures, AI videos of people saying that they dropped their Starbucks Bear cup just to get some engagements, just so people can get upset. Rage baiting with AI now. That's what we're doing. Anything but that. Anything but that. But anyways, I just find it really interesting because there's always a new gadget, a new thing to clog up your pantry or your fridge or your closet, and it serves little to no purpose, but people love to buy it. They feel like they need to buy things all the time just because, you know, it's just like social media is like high school low-key, because the people are very immature. It feels like a lot of them are stunted mentally, and I'm like, these people are like, I shouldn't be arguing with people that are fucking years older than me. I shouldn't be arguing with someone's grandma, you know what I mean? But it just seems like so many people are stunted and are in this like high school mindset, like I need to fit in, I need to do this, I need to do that, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with like doing some trends that are very harmless, but when it comes to contributing to the landfill, then it is becoming a problem, because even with the Trader Joe's tote bags, no one is talking about it anymore. Did you notice that? No one talks about that anymore. That came out like this year, and that was something that people were fighting over just because it came in different colors, and people were like, oh my god, I want it, I want it, I want it. And that's why people were like going crazy over it. And then also they were, I think, reselling it for a crazy price too. I don't even remember how much it was, but Trader Joe's, from what I remember, I've never actually been to a Trader Joe's, but I do remember hearing that it's like very affordable. It's not like an organic store, it's more like a snacky store, because it's like mostly snacks, frozen foods. There's a lot of processed foods. Whenever I see someone freaking shop from there, and they don't buy real groceries from there, so it's kind of like because I can't even say like it's similar to Sprouts, because there are some organic things there, but it's not, I don't think it's a like a, what is it called, a fully organic store. I don't think that's the purpose of the thing. I think the purpose is it's just convenient, it's somewhat affordable, and a lot of college students go there. A lot of people that don't really want to, like, you know, use the oven, a lot of people that use like air fryers or microwaves, it's very convenient for them from what I've gathered. But those stores are mostly like in California and like I don't know what other places, but it's definitely not over here. The only health stores that we have are Whole Foods and Sprouts, and Whole Foods is like all the way on the other side of town, and it's literally no point of being there. But I did go there one time back in 2018, I believe. That's when I first moved here, and I will say it's definitely doing the most. There was a whole band there singing and playing their little instruments, so it kind of like was a lot going on, you know what I mean? That was the thing that I noticed, like the first thing I noticed when I walked in there, like, why is there a whole band right here playing while I'm trying to shop? you know, that part was a little bit weird, but here we are. So yeah, but I do find it really annoying that there's always like this new gadget, and then sometimes I find myself being like, oh my god, I want it, but then I'm like, why do I want it? It's not because of, you know, a fear of missing out. I think it's just because I just like buying things, and I do have like a spending problem. Since I have my own adult money, it's kind of like hard to like, you know, sometimes tell myself no, because if I just freaking hit my card, like my debit card, for like a couple of weeks, I think I would be okay. But then sometimes I'm like thinking like, well, my cards are kind of connected to something, so I can still buy it, you know. Like the thing is, like, I don't really need a lot of the stuff that I buy. I just buy it because I want it at the moment, you know what I mean? It's just, that's just how it is. But it is kind of sad that people try to do everything in their power to find a community, but contributing to consumerism is just not the way to go. I feel like there's so many other ways to find a community, but I feel like social media has kind of upped it, because there's so many influencers that love to shove things down your throat, like you need to buy this, you need to buy that, you need to buy this. Like TikTok shop was not always a thing. Like, let's not forget, this wasn't always a thing. The ads, it wasn't always a thing. Like maybe 3 years ago it wasn't even a thing on that app, but since it's there, we just kind of like adjusted. But also, like, I hated whenever there was like a video that was like, oh, this is cheaper than a slice of pizza, and then you click on it. You click on it once, even if it's by accident, your whole feed is covered in that one product that you accidentally like clicked on. So then your For You page thinks, your algorithm thinks that you want that product, so they try to like sell it to you by showing it to you several times, and it tells you like, should I buy it? It is cute, maybe I should buy it, you know what I mean? And this is how they get a lot of people. And then you're drowning in credit card debt, and then you're like, why am I broke all the time? I don't know, maybe because you keep buying things off of Temu and TikTok shop. I don't know, right, Gizmo? He doesn't even get it, honestly. He doesn't get the game. I get the game. And also, I remember there was like this whole point in time where I was really into minimalism, and not the cringe beige manila. I cannot talk today. Oh my god, this is so irritating. Like, I talk so much on TikTok, and I'm always stumbling on my words, and it frustrates the fuck out of me every freaking time, because I'm like, why do I keep stumbling on my words? I think because I want to say so many things at once, and then when I say it, my brain is like jumbling it. So like, I feel like even when I stutter or jumble my words, you can kind of hear what I'm trying to say, but it's just really irritating and a little bit embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie, and it bothers me. It's not because of the comments that I keep getting about my voice and how I talk. It's because I know how my brain works, and it's sometimes a little annoying. But yeah, anyway, so what was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. Oh my god. Minimalism trend back in 2020 with Marie Kondo, I think that's her name. Yeah, I used to really want to be a minimalist because of that, because it just seems so much simpler. And it was a trend for a really long time. A few things in your closet, does it give you joy? If it doesn't give you joy, throw it out. It's honestly so freaking hard, because every time I try to like get rid of things, I still feel like there's no dent in my closet. I feel like it still looks the same at the end of the day. Like, I just have so many clothes. I don't know. I find it really annoying, honestly, to have a lot of things. And I used to be really obsessed with buying things and having everything, you know what I mean? Like, well, when it came to cameras, I'm still a huge stickler with that. Like, I do like having the newest cameras, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that'll ever go away. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, because it is an investment at the end of the day, and it's not like it's collecting dust. I think it's just people want to feel a sense of belonging, and that's why they do these things, because they want to feel like they can belong somewhere, and they want to feel like heard, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why it's like that, but it's like kind of sad, because I'm just like, why are we so connected but so disconnected when it comes to us as society? Like, I hear so many people talking about how they want a community but they don't know how to start, and girl, I don't know either. I don't know either, but I hope that one day we're not so disconnected, but I really think it's the phones. I think it's the phones. Like, what else could it possibly be? Because honestly, social media has been around, but it was never this bad after the vid. And I don't think people were, I know that the vid on, and I know that a lot of people get triggered over people bringing up like the panorama, but a lot of things has changed. Something that was a very short moment in our lives felt like an eternity, but it made a huge impact. Like, it's so weird. Like, people don't know how to socialize anymore. Whenever you talk to someone with, you know, just try to strike a conversation, it's like they literally, like, the way that they look at you, especially at school, it's like you murder their dog. They're just like, that's not normal. And the fact that a lot of people are dealing with that, it's insane, because I'm thinking it's just me that's going through that. I'm like, well, maybe they're just not used to socializing, I don't know. But then I realized, like, oh, I'm hearing about it a lot on TikTok, you know what I mean? And my way of connecting with people is social media, and it's been like that for 8 years. That's how I would talk to people, because honestly, I didn't have friends at school, and I still don't have friends at school, which I love. Honestly, I love hearing people's opinions. Unless it's rude, then I don't like hearing about it, but it's just, I think there's just something missing here, and I think it's just annoying, because I find it sad that people are like trying to do like anything to make friends and have a sense of community. Like, I saw someone, I know it's a little bit weird, but she was like, I'm studying every day until I get hit on at the library. And then there were some that were like, sitting at the coffee shop until I make a friend or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, but are you even going up to these people? Like, are you just sitting there looking crazy? Like, are you even trying? I have so many questions. But the fact that we even have to do this, but they didn't prepare us on how awkward it is to make friends and as an adult. Because let's not forget, when the like panorama started, I was 19 turning 20, so a lot of us were very young adults. And I'm not saying that it's an excuse. A lot of people didn't get to have a prom, a lot of people didn't get to have homecoming. Their graduations was all on camera, and then like their PE classes were on camera on Zoom. So a lot of things has hindered like our ways of socializing. Like, your early 20s are your pivotal times to really explore things, but we didn't get to explore things for like 2-3 years, maybe 2 years, I'll say, because I stopped wearing the mask obsessively in 2022, I believe. And I think honestly that was because of an OCD thing. But even out here, people didn't have like a huge requirement on the mask thing. That was more like California. They had you have it for like every little thing. Like, if you're going to the grocery store, you better have it. But I wore it all the time, even though I hated it. And it was honestly such a waste. It was such a waste to the environment, because it's just a bunch of masks everywhere. And then I was like having so much OCD around that time, because I was paranoid of getting sick. And then I got sick. I got vid last year for the first time after dodging it for 5 years. And I was like, okay, it's horrible. It's horrible, but it's not that bad, okay? It's like the most awkwardest feeling, because I still went to school, but I was wearing a mask. But I did have to miss some days because I could not get out of bed. I felt very weak. My bones were very sore. My taste buds were out of whack. I remember trying to eat a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and it tasted like metallic. And I haven't eaten a Chick-fil-A sandwich since. And I think that was like my first time trying it. And I wasn't eating that much around that time. So that week or two of me having the vid, I wasn't really eating that much. I didn't have the appetite of, I didn't have an appetite, but I just remember feeling very weak a lot. I didn't have a cough, I didn't have like the sniffles or anything. I just mostly had like a muscle aching, and also my equilibrium was off, so I kept tripping all the time and bumping into like things. And I remember that, and it was a little embarrassing because it happened at school, and I almost fell on top of a thing because I was feeling dizzy. But my camera is dying, so I think it's time to end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you check out my other videos, and I'll see you next week with another one. Bye guys.